It was called one of the most trusted pistols in history, yet even the M1911 sometimes failed in the worst possible moment. In this video, we explore the real reasons why the M1911 pistol could jam in combat situations during World War II and Vietnam. We also look at how soldiers dealt with these failures in the field, and why this legendary weapon still earned a reputation for reliability despite its flaws. Why the M1911 jammed, and how soldiers dealt with it. The legend behind the gun. The M1911 is more than just a firearm. It is a symbol of military history. Designed by John Browning in the early 1900s, it became the standard issue sidearm for the US military for decades. From World War I through World War II and even into Vietnam, the M1911 stayed in service. Soldiers trusted it, commanders respected it, and over time, it became known as one of the most iconic pistols ever made. But like every machine used in extreme conditions, it was not perfect. Even this legendary weapon had moments where it failed. And in combat, a small failure could mean everything. When reliability was tested, on paper, the M1911 was built for harsh conditions, but real battlefields are not clean environments. Mud, sand, rain, sweat, dust that sticks to everything. In those environments, even a well-designed weapon starts to struggle. The M1911 was no exception. Soldiers sometimes experienced jams, situations where the pistol would not fire or cycle properly. And in combat, those moments were critical. Why the M1911 sometimes jammed. 1. Magazine issues. One of the most common causes was not the pistol itself, but the magazine. Many soldiers later reported that worn-out or low-quality magazines were responsible for most feeding problems. If the spring inside the magazine weakened, the next round might not rise properly. That meant the pistol could fail to chamber a new bullet. In simple terms, the gun was ready, but the magazine was not. 2. Dirt and battlefield conditions. Another major issue was contamination. Battlefields like the Pacific Islands in World War II or dense jungles in Vietnam were extremely harsh environments. Sand could enter the slide, mud could block movement, fine dust could build up in the mechanism. The M1911 had tight mechanical tolerances, which made it accurate and solid, but also sensitive when dirty. When enough debris built up, the slide could slow down or stop functioning smoothly. 3. Improper grip and limp wristing. Another factor came from how the pistol was held. The M1911 relies on recoil energy to cycle its action. If the shooter did not hold it firmly enough, the slide might not move fully backward. This could lead to a malfunction where a spent casing stays inside the chamber. Soldiers informally called this kind of issue a stovepipe, because the casing often stuck upright like a small pipe. It was not a design flaw alone. It was also about handling under stress. 4. Wear and tear over time. Many M1911 pistols used in war were not brand new. They had already fired thousands of rounds. Springs weakened. Extractors wore down. Small internal parts lost tension over time. In a battlefield environment, constant use pushed the weapon to its limits. Even small mechanical wear could lead to occasional failures. The reality of combat conditions. It is important to understand something here. No weapon used in war operates in perfect conditions. Soldiers in World War II were not handling display pieces. They were using tools exposed to mud, sand, rain, heat, and constant movement. In the Pacific Theater, weapons could be dropped into wet soil or covered in jungle debris. In Vietnam, humidity alone was enough to affect mechanical systems over time. So when the M1911 showed occasional issues, it was not unusual that IT was part of reality in extreme environments. How soldiers dealt with jams. When a firearm malfunctioned in combat, soldiers did not have time for complicated repairs. They relied on simple, trained responses developed through drills and experience. One common method was immediate action, quick steps designed to restore function and get the weapon working again. If a round failed to fire or cycle properly, soldiers would quickly check, clear, and attempt to continue engagement. The goal was always the same: restore functionality as fast as possible. Field maintenance culture. Outside of immediate action, maintenance played a huge role. Soldiers learned early that keeping the weapon clean reduced most problems. Even a quick field cleaning, removing dirt, wiping down parts, and reapplying light lubrication could dramatically improve reliability. Magazines were often treated as separate critical components. If one was suspected to be faulty, it was replaced immediately. In many combat units, soldiers carried multiple magazines for exactly this reason. The idea was simple: if one part fails, switch to another and keep going. Myth versus reality. Over time, the M1911 gained a reputation for both extreme reliability and occasional finickiness. Some modern shooters view it as temperamental, others still call it one of the most dependable pistols ever made. The truth sits somewhere in between. In controlled conditions, it performs extremely well in harsh, dirty, and prolonged combat environments. It requires care and maintenance like any mechanical system. What matters most is this: soldiers trusted it enough to carry it into some of the harshest conflicts in modern history. That trust was not given lightly. Engineering perspective. From an engineering point of view, the M1911 is a product of its time. It was designed in an era when simplicity and mechanical strength were prioritized over modular design or modern materials. Its tight fit gave it accuracy and durability, but that same tightness made it more sensitive to dirt and wear. Later firearm designs often adjusted for this by increasing tolerance for debris and simplifying internal cycling systems. But the M1911 remained a benchmark for reliability in its own category. A weapon that earned its reputation. Despite its flaws, the M1911 remained in service for decades. That alone says a lot. If a weapon is truly unreliable in war, it disappears quickly. But the M1911 stayed, because soldiers adapted to it. They maintained it, and they trusted it in situations where there was no second chance. Its occasional jams did not define it. Its performance in critical moments did. Final thoughts. The story of the M1911 is not just about a pistol. It is about the relationship between humans and machines in extreme conditions. Even the best designed tools can fail under pressure, but how people respond to those failures is what matters most. Soldiers learn to understand their weapon to maintain it, and to trust it, not blindly but intelligently. And that is why the M1911 remains more than just a firearm. It is a piece of history shaped by both performance and imperfection. If you found this breakdown interesting, you might enjoy other deep dives into historical weapons and battlefield engineering stories. You can like the video if you want more content like this. And subscribe for the next one. Thanks for watching.